Good morning. Good morning. How are you all doing today? Today is March 2nd, 2026, and the market opens in about 5 minutes. Excited to be back home, back in the trading station. For all of you who follow me know that I traded in two different locations on Thursday and Friday. Friday, I was in the hotel. And yeah, we were able to make money. We made $100 on Thursday. We made another like $22 on Friday. But overall for the week, we made $350 for the week. So definitely go back and watch those videos. Um, Consider subscribing to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your day. We got about 4 minutes until the market opens. And I wanted to showcase to you our channel for all of you who just tuned in. Have 7.56 thousand subscribers. Thank you to everyone who is subscribed to the channel. Over 1.2 thousand videos. We just crossed over 500,000 views. All right, 500,000 views. And we put out 52 videos in the last 30 days. All right. This is our live stream right now. And these are the videos that I created this weekend. So we got well, that was about 5 days ago. We got shorting BTC, making $96, $100, showing a vlog, a 2-day vlog. It looks like everyone responded very well to that. 128 views in 2 days. Made $360 profit for the week. My goal is to make $500 a week. And then, of course, I had a video on U.S. and Israel launch major attack on Iran. For anyone who missed out, we also just crossed over. Well, now we're sitting more on about 3,500 with today. We're up 3,600, so we're getting ready to cross over $4,000 for this $2,000 small account growth challenge. So I forgot to post this. We crossed over 3,000 on the 23rd of February. And yeah, we are looking good. We're sitting pretty right now. We actually already locked in profits. QQQ pushed down to 590 last night during the overnight session. We captured that live during our Sunday stock talk, which was fantastic. It pushed all the way back up to 604, and now during pre-market it's sitting at 598, down about 1.48%. Crypto also down about 2% today. It pushed all the way down to 63,000 on Saturday. That was an insane move from lows of 62,000 to highs of 69.9, back down to lows of 63. We missed this move because we couldn't trade in the overnight or in the weekend with stocks, and then pushed back up to 68, and we shorted this last night. I woke up really early and we were able to make $83 or 2.56% on about a about $3,300 position. We're using our money to our advantage. Cost basis was 1301, and as you can see right here, I actually swing traded 100 shares at 13.19. I bought another 43 shares at $13, another share at 13.05, and then I couldn't really sleep last night, so I bought some shares around 11. I bought 55 shares at 12.84, another 20 at 12.72, and another 30, 105 shares. So I was holding 200 shares, and then when it popped up to 13.45, I got an alert, sold 50 at 13.40, sold another 100 at 13.30, and sold 99 at 13.36. Actually, I was holding 250 shares during this session here, so I really enjoyed the trade. It felt really good. It felt really smooth to me. Peaked out about 13.44, right off of that 13.45 resistance level right there. So love to see how, patterns can tend to repeat themselves. And now we're going to sit back, potentially take another trade when it makes sense to us, but already up $83 or 2.56%, and the market isn't even open yet. All right, so there we go. Market is officially open. We're going to see exactly what happens here. Is QQQ going to begin to rally, or is it going to begin to sell off? Now remember, our weekly economics calendar did come out in our Discord, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. You could click the first link in the description and you'll get access to our weekly economic calendar. All my trade ideas, I were alerting you guys last night and yesterday at 7:51 when I was adding more shares to my MSTZ position. Last night at 9:43 p.m. I added more shares, and then I told you this morning at 6:51 that I sold shares, 6:58 that I sold shares, and then 7:06 that I sold shares and locked in profit. So there's another cool little profit picture there for our community. And yeah, sometimes I don't feel like you guys are able to see my videos, so we're gonna go ahead and put this one in the main chat as well. For some reason, people have a hard time trying to find it in the live trading session, but nonetheless, weekly economics calendar for this week, March 2nd. We have Berkshire Hathaway reporting this morning. I'd love to see what that actually reported. Riot reporting after close today. We got Target and Best Buy reporting tomorrow morning. CrowdStrike after close tomorrow. And then we have, let's see, Broadcom is a good one, and Webull Wednesday after close. And that's kind of it for the week, but a ton of other companies reporting earnings. If you're interested in any of those or you want me to do any videos or updates on it, just let me know in the Discord or in the live chat. So we are live, yes. I don't want this to be a recap. I want this to be, still continuing to trade. We want to make sure that we're doing good by holding ourselves accountable, making sure we get into a good position. Again, we're already up pretty good for the day, so we don't want to, fall short, give any profits back, or over trade, right? Look at this. We would have actually gave all of our profits back if we would have held those 250 shares. We'd probably even be down money. So good thing that we did our part by locking in profits this morning. I even thought about it. I was like, well, I don't want this to push higher without me. I want to make sure that I hold, but I also don't want it to do exactly what it's doing right now, and that's selling off. So we did a great job locking in profits at the tippy top this morning. All right, so let's see what happens here. Let's see if we can get another entry plus possibly. MSTR pushing up, 132.44. Bitcoin pushing up. QQQ, huge push up from lows of 598 to highs of 602 now. Amazing. I'm going to have to update my alerts here. Let's go above 603. Let's go above 604 and above 605. Also, I didn't ask. Can you guys hear me okay? See me okay? I hope so. I believe so. Man, what a move, right? What a move indeed. Let's go to 606. All right. We're doing $1 increments on this. Let's go 598. Let's go 600 because we don't want to miss the fall if it does break below. Actually, we'll just keep this one right here. Around 597, 596.50, something like that. BTC pushing up. Love to see this extreme push up. Let it run. Let it run as much as it wants, and then we will short it again, guys. That is what we do. 134. Whoop. 134. Where's all my alerts going? There we go. Beautiful. Love to see it. Oh, MSTR just hit 133. So anyone who wanted to go long on MSTR could have bought into MSTU this morning pre-market around 475. It is currently up 7%, guys. 7% already on MSTU. Bitcoin continuing to push up higher. All right, we have people already locking in profits on MSTU. Beautiful. I am out of my MST long position. MSTZ long position. I did get out of it already. Considering buying a few more shares, but we're going to wait and see. We're not going to actually rush this at all. I don't want to buy in and MSTR continues to push higher, which I believe it can. I'm just going to hold. Just going to hold, be patient with it. Already made my money for the day. Let this sell off. QQQ pushing up to 604. This can run up to 608. This can run up to 610. It could even go to 617. You know, it doesn't mean it has to stop at 610. It could begin to retrace right now. Super overbought on the RSI and the MACD indicator, but continuing to push. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Look at this. Non-stop green candles. Non-stop green candles. Bitcoin curling over slightly, but we're going to wait. MSTR could begin to push up higher. You know, it could flatline right around this level. It's already touching those pre-market highs from today. Can you see that right there? 133.11. Doesn't mean it can't push higher. And when it does, I will be adding more to my position. Good morning. Good morning, Flavio. Johnny should buy MSTZ. I know I can't, I can't tell you that, man. You got to make your own decisions. I'm here to showcase to you what I'm doing, and it's up to you whether to copy me or not, but I don't recommend you copying me. And right now I'm not even in a trade, okay? I've talked about this already. Or MSTZ, it could pull back more. We can see lows of $12. Like on Friday, it got as low as $11.96, and then maybe I would consider buying a light position around $12 for the reversal. You know, may consider buying here if it begins to rally, but Bitcoin is pushing higher, which means MSTR could push higher. QQQ pushing higher. Potentially a bull trap because it can push higher, or this is actually going to retrace and come back down. So making sure that you understand reversals, making sure you understand that a lot of these companies can continue to push higher. Bitcoin could continue to rally all day long. What you need to do a good job is by making sure you know your risk tolerance, know where you're going to enter, exit, take profits, and cut your losses. You know, it's important. You know all four of those things before you take a trade. Only you would know that answer for yourself, okay? Just like me, only I know where a good stop loss would be, where a good entry would be for myself, and that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. How to identify these opportunities on your own. Bitcoin's still pushing. Let it. It's been 10 minutes of market open. It could rally for hours. It could rally for days. It doesn't have to curl over right now and push back. It's possible. Doesn't mean it has to. Okay? As much as I want to buy more MSTZ to make more money, I'm not trying to give back my $82 in profits. Okay? I'm just trying to be cool, calm, and collected, trying to be patient. Bitcoin is pushing higher. MSTR is also pushing higher. They just crossed over 133. we go. Big push from MSTR, which means MSTZ is just going to get cheaper. And let it. I wouldn't mind buying some at $12. $11.50. 11. Right? Let this thing begin to sell off. A lot of buying pressure today. Is there any news? Strategy buys more Bitcoin tokens in prior week. What the heck does that mean? In the week of February 23rd to March, he bought 39 million worth of tokens. He bought 3,000 Bitcoin with an average price of 67,000. So MSTR bought more shares. Strategy said it held 720,000 Bitcoin as of March 1st, purchased for an average price of 76K. Okay. All right, so they have a 76K average still. Let it push. There's no signs of a reversal just yet, even though it's overbought on the RSI. MACD wants to curl over, but it is not. Looks like it's happening at the moment. Bitcoin still pushing. QQQ, now this is perfect. QQQ is reversing. Curling over. Love to see it. Oh, I wanted to check on Berkshire Hathaway. BRK. Berkshire. Dang. Yeah, this is one of those companies that trades at an extremely high amount. Imagine this, buying one share for 730,000. Isn't that insane? Berkshire Hathaway, BRK-A. Now they do have another one called BRKB. I don't see any news on it. So let's go ahead and go to BRKB. And it's way cheaper. It's $487 and it follows it the same exact way. Wow. Warren Buffett's company here. And remember, when in doubt, cash out. Make sure that you're doing your part by locking in profits. This is what we talk about a lot. Knowing when to take profits. I knew that 1344 was a common resistance, so I sold my shares at 1344. Pre-market. I sold pre-market because I said, you know what, it could potentially go higher and form a breakout, but from my past experiences, breakouts don't usually happen for me. And why trade against the pattern? Why trade against the trend? Right? Okay, there's a potential for it to break out and make more money, but look at the downside. Huge downside, okay? So we did a great job by locking in profits, identifying where there was resistance pre-market and overnight hours, where there was support, and now it's just blown through support. We could actually have been down money. So we did a great job by locking in profits. Did I want to make $100 today? Yes. Did I? No, I made 82, right? So not quite 100, but very close. I'm closer to 100 than I am to 0 or negative. Whew. Imagine holding 250 shares and at a cost basis of 13, I'd be down $250. I would literally be down $250 right now instead of up 80. And that's the point, knowing when to lock in profits for yourself. Okay, $12 right now per share. I talked about buying some at $12, but Bitcoin can continue to push, which means it could send MSTR up to 136, 138, 140. It can go much higher than it is right now. Okay, I want you guys to be aware of that. It can continue to push higher. What we're going to do is our part and set some alerts so we don't miss out on this reversal. Wow, Bitcoin really pushed up, didn't it? Setting our alerts, making sure that we're aware for when there is more buying pressure or when there's more selling pressure, right? We want to know when it crosses over this line, when it comes down here, and when it breaks below this level here. Honestly, I should probably put one up here. It's going to retest this level. We're going to see if it breaks that level, if it gets a retest. MSTZ to 1220. It's not bad, but this can continue to rally, right? We saw that on, was it Wednesday, where we kept trying to buy the dip on MSTZ, and it just continued to sell off and continue to sell off. And some days it'll rally really nice. Some days it'll be choppy. But that Wednesday, I kept trying to buy the dip here. I bought some down here. Bought some down here. Stopped myself out. Oh, it's pushing up. Let's buy some. Stop myself out. Buy some. Stop myself out. Buy some. Buy some. Buy some. And we kept fighting the trend all day long till 12 o'clock. And then at that point, it just flatlined. And I was like, you know what? I'm done trying to trade a reversal that hasn't happened yet. Doesn't mean it can't happen here, where we can get a really strong reversal. But again, just being patient. Being patient. BTC still rallying. No sign of it selling off, which means MSTR could continue to push up. Even though it's reversing slightly, doesn't mean it can't push up higher with Bitcoin. QQQ also pushing higher. Again, we want to see a break of pattern, a break of structure. We want to make sure that we understand that this is actually, in fact, selling off. There we go. We could be seeing some of it now. VIX index is at a 24 at the time of open. All the way down to 22 now, but still within range, right? When VIX index, the market volatility index, is above 20, when it's above 20, above this red line, then markets are more volatile. There's more uncertainty and potentially more selling pressure, which means the market will begin to sell off more, right? And we saw that. We saw markets sell off to 594.90 pre-market. And there we go. QQQ pushing higher. Bitcoin pushing higher. MSTR kind of doing its own thing. It's not really pushing higher with Bitcoin or with QQQ. So that's interesting to see. But that doesn't mean it can't happen. MSTR could be lagging just a little bit behind. And sometimes it does do its own thing. You want MSTR to push up higher with Bitcoin and QQQ. Doesn't mean it has to happen. We got to remember MSTR is still its own company. It is still its own company. QQQ up to 604.96. Let's see. Sound up to 830 from Friday's highs of 960. Remember, $9 for Sound is a resistance, 7 is a support. Doesn't always have to happen that way, but it has followed this pattern, this horizontal pattern, for a while, and it can continue to repeat that self, okay? American Airlines down to $12. SoFi up to $17.50 from lows of 16. Hood pushed up to 76 from lows of 72.50, now coming back down. Netflix is the winner this week, from lows of 75 to highs of 97. Guys, what a beautiful move here. Up 30%. 30%, guys. $23 per share in a single week. That 30% is almost my monthly goal, right? I try to make 10% a week, which is 40% a month, 30 to 40%. That is my monthly goal in 1 week of profit on Netflix. Beautiful move. Nvidia down to 173. Looks like it tested some support around 170. Not quite, but pushing up to 180. Amazon pushed all the way down to 200, and we talked about that. Talked about how Amazon could hit 200. Looks like it pushed down to 196. Now it could potentially push back up to 247. Doesn't this make more sense? Buying a company around support level. Say you bought at $200. Now you're looking at now you're looking at a stop loss below, say 195. And look at this. Beautiful. Look at the margin on this. We're talking a 12 risk to reward. You're literally risking maybe 1 or 2% to make 20 to 23%. Now that is a risk to reward that we would want to have. Same with Netflix, right? We could have done that with Netflix too. Maybe you're buying, maybe you're buying Netflix at 76. It drops down to maybe 75. You decide I want to add a little bit more. You're risking 3% to make 27%. Come on, that is beautiful. That is a beautiful move. $26 in profit potential versus maybe 3-4% in risk. And that is how you win. This is how you grow your account. All right, QQQ. Trying to curl over a little bit here. And there it is. Big drop. Bitcoin coming down slightly. MSTZ up to 1230. We're going to go light. Like 50 shares. Buying MSTZ right now. 50 shares. Really light position. MSTR curling over. Bitcoin curling over. Buying another 50. 1235. MSTR trying to hold. See this sell off. Flavio, I'm in MSTZ 12, 10, 50 shares. Nice. 12, 10 is a good average. Now make sure you have a stop, right? Below, say, 1201. If it goes to 1199, maybe you stop out. Maybe you buy a few more shares at 12. And then know that, hey, I'm going to stop out at 1190, 1180, right? Make sure you know where your stop loss is. That's important. My goal is to make $100 today, so that's all we want to do here. Cost basis, 1236 now. I did have a 13 cost basis. Wow, oh wow, I didn't realize how much we could potentially make if it pushes back up. Okay. Looks like Bitcoin's trying to rally. MSTR trying to hold above 133. QQQ also trying to hold above 603. Let's see what happens. War against Iran still kind of going on. Strikes raise geopolitical risk premium as Iran tensions threaten oil and shipping. Let's see. Continue to pump. $12.36 is my average for right now on this new trade. I have 101 shares. It's about to hit 8 o'clock. So let's see it. Bitcoin, let's see if Bitcoin can break 133. Begin to sell off a little more. 133. QQQ trying to hold. There we go. Broke below 604 again. There we go. Nice push up to 1242, 1245. And look at that. We're about to cross over $100. Just crossed over 90 briefly. Up 2% on the day. So I was up 2.5% on my overnight position, pre-market position. 2% is my daily goal. If I can make 2% a day, that's 10% a week. 10% a week. MSTR slowly fading away. Let's see, drop below 133, we get another dip. Another pullback. Bitcoin kind of stopped with its push up, aggressive push up. Now it's kind of flatlining. It could still push higher, but it's not pushing up as aggressively. QQQ also kind of consolidating around 603.70, 604, right around this level. Okay, here we go. Looks like Bitcoin's going to push slightly higher. Could see more consolidation like we saw on Friday, where basically just it did a really good job on Friday by just pushing like this. Look, I mean, we had to scalp this thing. We had to buy, we had to sell the high, right? Like we could show this on MSTZ. We're having to buy the low at 1280s, sell the high at 1320s, buy the low, sell the high, and we literally had to do this all day on Friday. That's why I only made like $22. At one point I was up 60, another point I was down 40, another point I was up 40, another point I was down 20, and then I just said, you know what, I'm gonna get out, lock in my profits, about $22, and just go enjoy the day, because it was super choppy. Okay, Bitcoin retesting 67,000. Could have took a little off the table right there, huh? At 1246. Could have took a little bit off the table if I wanted to kind of lock in that $90. Bitcoin still holding above 67,000 pretty well. QQQ still right around 604. It is 8 o'clock, so we're officially 30 minutes into market open on Monday, March 2nd, which is great. This can begin to rally a little more, could begin to sell off. Looks like it potentially is going to push higher. Bitcoin looks like it's going to push slightly higher. And look at that, we already gave back $20. Looks like Bitcoin's trying to sell off a little here. MSTR back to 133. QQQ, wow, big sell off by QQQ down to 602.80. Back up to 603. So this is a break of structure, right? It's not making aggressively higher highs. It's kind of just consolidating. Now let's see if we can get that drop below the EMA, this blue line, for more selling pressure down to the support and potentially this green line here. Okay, doesn't mean it has to happen. Looks like it's found support pretty nicely right now at the moment, above the 45 EMA. Bitcoin seems to be pushing a little bit. Okay, 8 o'clock. People are getting in the market. They're understanding that everything is still pushing higher. Bitcoin just hit 67. Nice little push up. Here we go. We're going to see this begin to push higher. Bitcoin to 67.4. QQQ back up to 604.50. See if it breaks 605. $604.60, $604.50. Let's see this pull back. Bitcoin curling over slightly right now. MSTR just kind of consolidating around 133.80, 134. I may get out of this position for right now. Let's see, I may not. QQQ. Potentially break to 605. And we're going to see the break right now. 605. 605.17. I may just get out of this position. Create a really tight stop. $12.15 stop. I'm considering doing a $12.15 stop. Bitcoin just kind of there. QQQ still pushing higher. Well, trying to. Yep, down to 1207. Wow. We're just going to let this do its job, right? It's going to let it consolidate. We'll see if it eventually corrects and begins to, we're going to continue to set our alerts, and we'll, follow up on it when we do see it necessary. And that's all we're going to do. We're just setting our alerts. Like it's struggling to get above 605. Bitcoin still pushing very nicely. We want to see this begin to curl over as well, so we're setting our alerts. What goes up will eventually come down. It could pump all the way up to 68 if it wants to. Doesn't have to, but it definitely can. MSTR struggling to push higher. All right, that's where we're going to end the live stream, guys. We've been live for 41 minutes. I appreciate your guys' time. Remember, let's end the year on a green note, and I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord. First link in the description below. It's 100% free lifetime access for right now. We got 250 spots left, but they're going very fast. So get in now, unlock your free spot for lifetime access. After we reach 1,000 members, it will no longer be free. So definitely get in now while you can. Thank you for your time.